Hi, very warm welcome to Banega Swasth India. I'm Arun Singh, and with me, Dr. Jayesh Lele. He's General Secretary of Indian Medical Association. A very warm welcome, sir. Of course, we're discussing Omicron and the precautionary doses which have been started to battle this new war, which is being faced by us in the third wave. Of course, my first question is we are seeing precautionary doses or booster doses being administered in the country. As we speak, it has started. But do you think it's the right time, or you think we are late in doing so?
No, I don't think so right now. But precautionary dose or a booster dose, that what they have started is after the 9th month of the second dose. So if you recollect is that way, the Jan almost first week of second week, Jan 21, the vaccination started. And after that, there was a little gap. Maybe in the beginning, it was given for 1.5 months and 3 months gap. And then, so second dose, most of the people have taken the second dose after 3 to 4 months. So naturally, they want to have in a step manner because they don't want to jumble up and queue up and again, make a lot of crowd there. So I think this is the timely gap and the proper timely it has started. So that is fine.
And in multiple cities, especially in the metros, we are seeing a lot of health workers also getting positive. And how important do you think is vaccinating the healthcare workers?
Very important because we have lost lot of healthcare workers. There are two issues. One is there is a shortage of healthcare workers, and in the second wave, you have noticed that more than nearly 2,000 doctors themselves expired because they had to do a lot of work in this vicinity. Healthcare workers, again, I am talking of the paramedical staff, nurses, ward boys, and everybody because they have to do lot of over duties, lot of overtime, and then the viral load is more and they exposed for a longer period. So the susceptibility was more, and that is why we lost it. So definitely, as it is step manner, they are needed the booster dose, and we were as a IMA, we had written it to the government of India requesting that we please start the third dose or a precautionary, you may call it the booster or whatever it is, but it's a needed.
Sure.
The government has taken the right decision, and we are thankful to the government for taking the booster dose to the health worker first.
Also, doctor, do you have, I mean, if you can take us through any facts, data, or figures when it comes to healthcare workers getting infected with COVID in this specific wave? Is there any data that you can take us through? What's the number we're looking at?
Healthcare workers, if you take call it a percentage wise, general percentage of healthcare population, 5 to 8% were total. I'm talking not only doctors. 5 to 8% were infected at the end of the second dose, wave, second wave. So naturally, when now if you see the figures now Omicron, and we have seen that some people who got the vaccination and healthcare workers to begin with, they have got the vaccination, but they have infected. So naturally, their third dose, booster dose is very much required, and whatever way they are protected against the Delta virus or any the disease is most welcome.
Okay, we're seeing in different parts of the world where several countries are experimenting with the third dose, where they are going with the mix and match strategy. Here, back home, of course, we are following the same two doses that were administered to a citizen. Do you think we should go with mix and match strategy? Is India capable to do so? Or if no, I mean, what is holding us back if that's a concern at all?
There is a difference of opinion to certain extent, but the WHO and the ICMR guidelines are very clear on this matter that the same dose should be given is a form of a booster dose. So I think in India, what we will be receiving is that suppose they have received first 2 doses of one vaccine, they will receive the same vaccine. The mix and match thinking is there, but at the moment, we cannot do any experiment because we don't have that much time. And the vaccine availability should be there because if you start with that cross vaccination and if you don't have the other vaccine, then again you will end up. So rather, we have the same vaccine, what is being followed. So that is easier to implement it. So they have taken that angle, and I'm okay with it.
Right. And given the surge that we are seeing during the third wave, as we are experiencing at the moment, do you think there should be a decision to administer booster dose for the entire population soon? Or how soon do you expect it?
I think that will also come immediately towards the end of the third wave. Or even if the third wave is catching up, third wave, we have seen almost a daily rise. We have already touching 2 lakh cases per day in India, and America has crossed nearly 7 lakh 85,000 cases per day, which was never in the second wave or each earlier wave. So definitely Omicron type of virus which is catching up. So the booster dose to the people who are comorbid, who are health workers and above 40, they have started. So, but government is taking step by step because already from first week of Jan, they have opened up age group of 15 to 18. So they are going in a phase manner. So that administration has to be looking after because availability of the doses, their internal infrastructure management, their reaching of the vaccine should also be there. So they are taking the precaution. They are doing it fine.
Right. It was in the month of November when we heard the news of Omicron spreading fast in South Africa and Botswana, and we are in the month of January, and experts believe that they have passed their peak. When do you think India is going to see this kind of phase where we are we pass the peak of the third wave?
If you calculate it that way, it was the 3 to 5 weeks. The Africa, the doses, the number of patients have gone down completely. Now, if you see at the end of the December, there were hardly 5 to 8,000 figures in Africa. So, if you say like that, we started in the month of December, second week, third week roughly, and now we are already in the Jan. So, I think we are approaching in a week's time at the peak level, and by third week of the Feb, I would think that it should go down as fast as possible because as fast as risen, as fast it will come down. That's generally being talked about. So I expect that the third week of February we'll see the downfall of the cases.
Right. Now let's talk about Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's new guidelines when it comes to the quarantine period for those who are isolating at home. Now, they have reduced it to 7, and WHO maintains it to be at 14 or 15. What do you think of this decision, and what do you think is the motive behind it?
I think so. This is what happened. The infectivity of this Omicron virus is very high. So and the recovery rate, what they have seen also is a very good amount. So that is what they feel that after 5 to 6 days, the person is not infective. And then if he is not infective, there is no point in keeping him in the house. Rather, his severity is not there, infectivity is less. So let him recover it faster. And that is how that thing has come at that within 8 days, it can be allowed to come out of the quarantine. That is what the theory they have put up.
Exactly. But also they say if you're asymptomatic, you're not supposed to go for another test. And this is after 7 or 8 days. Isn't it a risk that you see?
No. See, the infectivity, he may be positive because the antigen antibody has started developing in this. He is antigen positive. But he is not infective. See, infective person is a different. And he has tested positive. So he is going to remain positive for 7 to 8 days. So there is no point in repeating the test and saying that, okay, now you are negative and now you move about. The second testing is not recommended as such, but the infectivity is not there after 7 days.
Okay, so this was our discussion, but I asked a few of our viewers also to send in their questions, and I'm going to ask those to you now. Japleen asked, difference between normal cold and new variant. It's chaotic, is what she's quoted it as. Because, of course, we are experiencing a weather like this. And how do you differentiate if it's a COVID symptom or just the general flu?
You see, it's a viral fever. Viral fever, say, if you take an influenza, if you take a corona, if you take a simple mild flu or something, first 24 hours, there is a combination of symptoms. It may be little running nose, it may be sneezing, it may be throat irritation, mild malaise, mild fever, but there is a variation, a person to person, number one, depending upon the immunity. So first 24 hours, if you look at it, corona and this thing is not differentiated at all first 24 hours. But yes, the difference starts after 36 hours because you start recovering after 36 hours. Whereas in the corona case, you start feeling more weak even if you're clinically improved. Second thing, we always do the contact tracing. Suppose a person is working in the office, within 24 hours, he is having cold. But suppose he has a colleague or he has traveled somewhere and somebody has picked up the corona, that also tells us that he has already developed a contact. So that contact tracing is also simultaneously important. So when we talk to the patient, we take this both things into angle. After 36 hours only, I ask the patient to do the corona test, because after 36 hours, he has not improved in spite of giving the medicine. Clinically, yes, he has fever has gone down, but his malaise and weakness has increased. That is where the difference of the mild cold and the corona cold differentiates.
Right. Surbi Batra asked, when will this wave peak?
When will the waves be? I think another 1 week's time, the phase you will see the very high peaks. Maybe around, just like how you had in the month of July, August, 3 lakhs and 4 lakh cases, and you see within 1 week's time it will be a peak.
Okay. Udhav Garg asks, is Omicron targeting a specific group of people, like a specific age?
No, I don't think so. Most of the time, it is just like a corona. It was a more aged group of 30 above plus, working together, traveling together in the bus or a train or the office, mixing together, and the common areas we need to have, and we tell them that, okay, you be careful, don't mix up, sanitization, masking. So those workers are only affected. The younger, below 18, the percentage is very much less.
Okay. Hardik Jain's question is about Delta Cron. He's looking for information on that. There are a lot of articles, there are a lot of theories as well when it comes to Delta Cron, which is allegedly a combination of Delta variant and Omicron variant. Several experts have also pointed out that it's not really a variant, but I really want to hear your opinions on Delta Cron.
Delta Cron is reported just recently, maybe in the literature around 2 to 3 days back. It is being studied. I think at this moment, Delta Cron is not in India. It is a theoretical thing, that the description, such variation, because it happens that whenever the virus changes, variant changes, it can occur, have some, some things from the Delta and something from the normal Corona or Omicron. So the combination is possible. We will have to more study, and we'll have to do more genome sequencing and more pattern to give a correct opinion on this matter.
Right. Ankita asked, is self-test kit reliable? And I assume she's talking about rapid antigen tests, which are readily available at the pharmacy stores near us. So is the self-test kit reliable?
Rapid antigen positivity is quite reliable. False positive cases are not there. So why we do rapid antigen is that, suppose the patient has come to me on a second day or a third day, I do rapid antigen test immediately, because I don't want 24 hours for a RT-PCR reporting. Because in 24 hours, if I don't ask the patient to isolate, in that family, there may be 4 or 5 people, they may get infected, number one. Number two, negative, that patient at least rules out that time being that the person can take rest. Negative doesn't mean that permanent negative. It is possible. And doing test too early, it can be equivocal or it can be negative. So sometimes if the clinically patient is not improving, patient is having same symptoms and is testing negative, then I tell them to do the RT-PCR. So to rule out certain things, positivity, yes, RT-PCR needed as a confirmatory test, but certain things, the patient clinically is improving, patient is clinically, yes, showing symptoms, and if it's positive, then we take it as a positive and let him isolate, give him the proper line of treatment.
Okay, last question from Harshit. What if someone has got only one shot of vaccine and have had COVID before? Is second dose a must?
So he can take the second vaccine after another 3 weeks. I mean, the 2 months, because normal vaccine, we advise first to second dose 84 days. And if he has already suffered from the COVID after the first dose, then he can take the second dose after the 84 days of the completion of the COVID treatment.
Sure. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for this discussion and insightful answers on everyone's query as well. Well, for all such updates and videos, keep watching Banega Swasth India. This is Arun Singh for NDTV.